up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion, something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Excellency Turki Al Sheikh has said he wants to see Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. What is your honest thoughts on that as an opportunity and a potential fight?
Oh, it's always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance.
Mayweather Jr. is one of the smartest defensive boxers. He talked about a possible big fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Since Mayweather has never lost a fight, his opinion is important. He has fought Alvarez before and watched Crawford's career closely. Mayweather explains the fight by looking at each fighter's strengths, weaknesses, and strategies.
To hang around Earl, had a chance to hang around Terence, and both guys, class act, both. I'm proud of Terence Crawford. I'm proud of him. But you know, after the fight, after all the Terence Crawford fights, I always text him or call him and say congratulations. With Earl Spence, same thing. You know, a lot of times you're gonna hear certain things. You know, I'm not jealous of these fighters. I'm proud of these fighters. I'm for real. I'm very, very proud of these fights.
Mayweather's opinion is interesting because he fought Canelo Alvarez in 2013. At that time, Alvarez was a rising star with a great record, but Mayweather was smarter, had better defense, and was a better counterpuncher. Because of this, Alvarez lost the fight. Mayweather won by decision, proving he was the better fighter.
Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him, because you know, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult.
In that fight, Mayweather avoided Canelo's punches and landed clean counterpunches. This showed that Canelo struggled against tricky fighters. Over the years, Canelo has improved a lot. He became a champion in many weight classes and dominated his opponents. However, Mayweather still believes that a skilled technical fighter like Crawford could be a big challenge for Alvarez. Mayweather has great respect for Terence Crawford. He has often said Crawford is the best boxer in the world when it comes to power. Crawford is very tricky because he can switch between two boxing styles, orthodox and southpaw, without effort. His high boxing IQ helps him read his opponents and change his strategy during a fight, just like Mayweather used to do. Crawford easily defeated Errol Spence Jr., proving he is the best in the welterweight division. However, the big question is whether he can move up to a higher weight class and handle a bigger, stronger fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is known for his powerful punches, especially his left hook and body shots, which have hurt many top fighters. He is feared in many weight classes because he can take strong punches without getting hurt. He has fought as high as 175 pounds, which gives him a big size and strength advantage over Crawford, who has never fought above 147 pounds. Since losing to Mayweather, Canelo has also improved his defense, adding better head movement and upper body movement. Canelo has improved his defense by slipping punches better. However, he still struggles against fighters with great movement and defense. For example, Dimitri Bivol beat Canelo with a dominant performance by using quick footwork, movement, and counterpunching to stop Canelo's power. Mayweather sees similarities between Bivol and Crawford. Both fighters are very smart in the ring and know how to frustrate their opponents.
Top 5 fighters right now in boxing. That's your top 5 right now in boxing, not your the top 5 in boxing right now. Right now.
Champions or just anybody?
Top 5 right now.
Shakur #1, hands down. Tank, he up there. Canelo, in a way, Tyson Fury.
Damn. That's now back beforehand. Back, the back.
Crawford is great at controlling the fight's pace, landing accurate counterpunches, and changing his strategy based on his opponent. His power at welterweight is strong, but against Canelo, the big question is whether his punches will be powerful enough to stop the Mexican champion. One concern for Crawford is that he sometimes takes a few rounds to adjust before taking control of the fight. Against a powerful puncher like Canelo, a slow start could be dangerous. If Canelo lands a big punch early, Crawford might struggle to recover, especially in a higher weight class. Mayweather says that while Canelo is a top fighter, Crawford's technical skills give him a real chance to win. He believes Crawford's great footwork and counterpunching could cause big problems for Canelo. However, Mayweather also knows that weight is very important in boxing. Since Canelo has more experience in higher weight classes, this could give him an advantage. If the fight happens at super middleweight, Canelo would have a big size and strength advantage, making it harder for Crawford to fight his way. But if they agree to fight at a catch weight of around 160 pounds, it could make things more even. This way, Crawford could keep his speed advantage without losing too much power. Many people think that because Crawford easily beat Errol Spence Jr. at 147 pounds, he could do the same to Canelo. Mayweather warns against this idea. He says Spence and Canelo are very different fighters. Spence was a strong welterweight, but he doesn't have the same power and physical strength as Canelo. Crawford is one of the best counterpunchers, but Canelo has already fought top defensive fighters, including Mayweather. Canelo has also shown that he can take punches from bigger fighters.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. Power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
Crawford has never experienced. If this fight happens, there are 2 main ways it could go. Canelo's strategy. If Canelo pressures Crawford, cuts off the ring, and lands his powerful punches, he could overwhelm Crawford and win, either by knockout or a clear decision. Canelo is great at attacking the body and wearing down his opponents, which could be a big problem for Crawford since he has never fought someone with Canelo's punching power. Crawford's strategy. If Crawford uses his movement, boxing IQ, and counterpunching skills, he could outbox Canelo and win by decision, similar to how Mayweather beat Canelo. The key for Crawford would be to avoid long exchanges and stop Canelo from getting into position to land big punches. From a historical perspective, this fight would be one of the biggest boxing events in modern times. If Canelo wins, it would prove he is the best pound-for-pound fighter of his era, showing that he can defeat top-level boxers no matter. It would be a huge achievement. Moving up in weight and beating a champion like Canelo would put him among the greatest boxers in history, just like other legends who overcame size disadvantages to make history. Mayweather's final opinion is that while he respects Canelo's power and accomplishments, he leans toward Crawford because of his technical skills. However, he is careful not to make a clear prediction because the weight difference is a big factor. If the fight ever happens, it would be an exciting and historic event. This fight would be a battle between 2 of the best boxers of their time, a contest of power versus skill. It could shape both fighters' legacies for years. Sometimes dreams become reality, and the talks about a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are proof of that. After years of failed negotiations, things are finally moving forward, surprising many fans. Since news broke that the fight might actually happen, excitement in the boxing world has exploded. Fans, analysts, and fighters have all shared their opinions and predictions. Most early predictions favor Canelo Alvarez as the clear favorite. However, in a surprising turn, some people have started supporting Crawford. On Tuesday, Jake Paul joined this small group, officially announcing his pick for the fight. He and his business partner, Nakisa Bidarian, appeared on the first episode of The Ring Champ to share their thoughts. During the discussion, the conversation turned to Jake Paul's thoughts on the possible fight. With a knowing look, he pointed out that the weight difference would make this matchup very interesting. Since Crawford would need to gain nearly 13 pounds to fight Canelo, there is some uncertainty about how he would perform at a higher weight. Jake Paul questioned whether Crawford would have enough power to compete with Canelo, the unified super middleweight champion. However, despite his concerns, Paul is confident that Crawford, a former two-division undisputed world champion, has the skills to outmaneuver Canelo. Crawford has proven his abilities time and time again. I do think Terence has the skill and is a bit fresher than Canelo, Paul said. He pointed out that Canelo fought twice in Guadalajara last year, while Crawford only had one fight. Even though many things would need to go right for Crawford, Jake Paul still believes in him. If I had to bet money on it, I would probably go with Crawford, he said. Jake Paul surprised everyone on the episode by choosing to support Terence Crawford. While most of the combat sports world favors Canelo Alvarez, Paul stood by Crawford. However, his business partner, Nakisa Bidarian, quickly disagreed, saying, "I think Canelo destroys him." Most boxing experts share this opinion. A few months ago, promoter Eddie Hearn confidently predicted that Canelo would dominate the fight, saying the big size difference would be the deciding factor. Crawford can't really fight in this matchup because he's at a massive size disadvantage, Hearn explained. Demetrius Andrade also agreed. He told Fight Hub TV that even though Crawford is his friend, when it comes to weight and strength, that difference is real. Canelo is a big, strong fighter. Andrade believes Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to taking and blocking powerful punches, Canelo's experience gives him the edge. Even WBC interim light heavyweight champion David Benavidez, who hopes to fight Canelo himself, admitted that Crawford is an incredible fighter. However, he warned that weight classes exist for a reason. Although nothing is certain yet, Crawford seems close to securing the big fight he has been aiming for. Moving up 2 weight classes and giving up 14 pounds would be a huge challenge for most fighters. But as The Ring previously reported, Crawford is not afraid of facing a bigger opponent. Negotiations are in progress, and both teams are working out the final details. As the fight becomes more likely, the boxing world remains divided on how this battle will play out. Moving up 14 pounds to fight a top-level super middleweight is no easy task, especially when the opponent is a pound-for-pound legend like Canelo Alvarez. Canelo has dominated the super middleweight division since 2020. A fight between Canelo and Crawford would be considered a super fight because of the challenges they bring to each other and the impressive careers that have led them to this moment. Israel Madrimov, who fought Terence Crawford last year, recently shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated matchup. Madrimov, who lost to Crawford in August during their WBA light middleweight title fight, gave his perspective on the possible showdown. After 12 intense rounds, Crawford won by unanimous decision, earning his 4th world title across multiple weight classes. Now his next target is Canelo Alvarez, the reigning unified WBA, WBC, and WBO super middleweight champion. The highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, which has generated a lot of excitement, is tentatively scheduled for September in Las Vegas, though it hasn't been officially confirmed yet. Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing, has been leading the negotiations, pushing the 2 boxing superstars toward what could be an epic collision. After months of rumors and uncertainty, it seems the pound-for-pound champions have finally agreed to meet in the ring. In an interview with Boxing News, Israel Madrimov was asked about the potential outcome of this mega fight. He didn't give his former opponent much hope in overcoming the challenge of stepping up 2 weight classes, highly anticipated September bout, giving Crawford the opportunity to defy expectations once again by moving up 2 weight classes, from super welterweight to super middleweight, to challenge the Mexican champion. While some believe the significant weight increase could be a disadvantage for Crawford, Stevenson feels the 28-year-old undisputed champion can still outbox Alvarez. Stevenson told IFL TV, "I think Crawford can outbox Canelo. The fight has caught the attention of boxing fans, and in a recent interview with Ring magazine, Crawford's trainer revealed that there will be no rehydration clause for the fight, meaning Alvarez won't face any restrictions on how much weight he can gain after the weigh-in." Trainer Brian McIntyre criticized the idea of a rehydration rule, calling it unfair. He emphasized that Alvarez competes in higher weight classes than Crawford and would be seriously drained if forced to adhere to such a restriction. Brian McIntyre, Crawford's trainer, spoke out against the idea of a rehydration clause, saying, "You can't come in this much, man. Get the expletive out of here. It's boxing. You get on the scale. I made the weight. Regardless of what I come back as, you accepted the fight. Let's get in there and fight like men." Simple as that. Crawford and Alvarez are two of the finest fighters in the sport, each a multi-division world champion. However, what sets them apart is Crawford's flawless record of 41-0, while Alvarez has a 62-2 record, with his only losses to the legendary Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the formidable Dimitri Bivol, a top-tier pound-for-pound talent. For Crawford, facing Alvarez has long been a dream fight. He's been calling out the pound-for-pound icon for quite a while. With the support of Saudi Sports Minister Turki Al-Sheikh, Crawford has been pushing for this fight. On the other hand, Canelo, the Mexican champion, has shown little interest in fighting Crawford, instead requesting an outrageous payday. This has led to no official movement on the fight, despite Crawford's camp's intense desire for it. A crucial moment in Crawford's career came 2 years ago, when 2 years ago, Terence Crawford faced off against Errol Spence Jr. and leading. Up to the fight, expectations were high, with many thinking it would be Crawford's toughest test yet. However, Crawford proved his critics wrong with a masterful performance that left Spence overwhelmed, securing a dominant 9th-round TKO victory. After the fight, Crawford faced criticism from many in the boxing community, with some claiming he had weight-drained Spence. However, with a potential high-stakes showdown against Canelo Al, Crawford will be eager for Bradley's analysis to prove correct as he aims to topple Canelo and join the ranks of the only 3 fighters who have ever defeated the Mexican icon. In May 2022, Alvarez suffered a loss to Dimitri Bivol in the light heavyweight division, marking nearly 10 years since his first professional setback against the legendary Floyd Mayweather at 154 pounds in
Fully Outmatched.
What's good? I'm back again, the biggest hater in the sport of boxing. Yo, real quick, just got done. I woke up 3 a.m. I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro. Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at. And, bro, I'm telling you, you go back where you started, you're going to come back up on top. Peace.
Crawford will be
2013. Meanwhile, top-ranked boss Bob Arum isn't ruling out the possibility of this showdown. During a recent Fight Hype interview, the 93-year-old seasoned promoter, who has worked with Crawford on numerous bouts over the years, shared his perspective on the highly anticipated match. Knowing Crawford's skills inside and out, Arum didn't hesitate to share the key to Crawford's potential victory in the matchup. He said, "Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer-puncher, and he's totally ambidextrous. He drives his opponents crazy because they train to fight a right-handed fighter but end up facing a southpaw, and that's what happened to Errol Spence. It's important to highlight that Errol Spence Jr. was totally outclassed in his 2023 showdown. Arum believes Crawford is looking for a fight similar to the Manny Pacquiao vs. De La Hoya fight, where he can outclass his opponent. That's all for today's video. If you liked it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you Never miss an update.